Welcome to Calm Night Stories. Tonight you find yourself inside a quiet glass house, surrounded by nature, as gentle rain begins to fall across the world outside. The structure around you is simple yet beautiful, walls made entirely of glass, framed by dark wood, allowing you to see everything beyond while remaining completely sheltered within. The roof above you is also glass, stretching upward into the night sky, where faint clouds drift slowly, and now gathering as the rain begins to settle in. At first, the rain is soft, barely noticeable, a light tapping sound against the glass panels, scattered and irregular, like distant footsteps that slowly draw closer. You sit comfortably on a low bed placed near the center of the room, wrapped in a warm blanket surrounded by soft pillows. A small lamp glows beside you, casting a gentle amber light that reflects softly against the glass walls, creating a warm contrast against the cool darkness outside. The air inside feels still and balanced, untouched by the weather beyond the glass. You are completely protected. The rain begins to grow steadier, forming a soft, continuous pattern as droplets land across the roof above you. The sound becomes more even now, more rhythmic, creating a gentle layer of noise that surrounds the space without overwhelming it. Each drop taps lightly against the glass, then slides downward in slow, winding paths, catching the faint light from inside as they move. You watch them for a moment, noticing how no two paths are the same, yet all follow the same quiet descent. Outside, the forest is dimly visible, shapes of trees standing still in the darkness, their outlines softened by the rain. The ground glistens faintly as the water begins to gather, reflecting subtle hints of light. Inside, everything remains calm. The blanket holds its warmth. The lamp glows steadily. The silence between the raindrops feels just as important as the sound itself. The rain deepens slightly, becoming more consistent, more full, as if the sky has settled into a steady rhythm for the night. The sound across the glass roof blends into a soft, even layer, like a quiet curtain of noise that surrounds you completely. You lean back slightly, letting your body settle deeper into the softness beneath you. The blanket adjusts naturally, wrapping around you with gentle warmth, creating a feeling of comfort that feels constant and secure. Above you, the rain traces endless patterns across the glass ceiling. You can see the droplets gather, merge, and slide, forming delicate streams that move slowly across the surface before disappearing beyond your view. There is something calming about watching it, something steady, something unchanging. The world outside fades further into darkness as the rain continues. The trees become softer shapes now, barely visible beyond the glass, their presence more felt than seen. The sky above is a deep, quiet grey, filled with movement that never rushes, never stops. You remain still, your breathing slow and natural, matching the rhythm of the rain. The sound fills the space completely now, not loud, not sharp, but deep and consistent, wrapping around the glass house in a way that feels almost protective. It is as if the rain forms a barrier between you and everything beyond, a soft shield of sound. Inside, the warmth deepens, the light softens, the stillness grows. You notice how your body feels heavier now, more relaxed, as if it has fully settled into the moment. Your hands rest gently, your shoulders soft, your posture completely at ease. The glass walls reflect the soft glow of the lamp, creating a faint mirror of the room within itself. The outside world and the inside space blend together in the reflection, forming a quiet balance between calm and motion. The rain continues without pause, forming a steady rhythm that feels endless. Time begins to lose its shape, moments blending together as the sound remains constant. You close your eyes for a moment, still aware of the gentle tapping above, the soft movement of water across glass, the quiet presence of the night beyond. Nothing changes, nothing needs to change. Everything continues exactly as it is. A slightly stronger wave of rain moves across the roof, creating a fuller sound for a brief moment before settling again into the steady pattern. The droplets move faster now, merging into small streams that trace longer paths across the glass before disappearing. You listen without effort. The sound flows naturally, without interruption, without demand. It becomes part of your breathing, part of your awareness, part of the calm that surrounds you. The night stretches on, and the rain remains constant, never stopping, never fading. The glass house holds its quiet warmth, its soft light, its steady stillness. Outside, the world moves gently beneath the rain. Inside, everything remains calm. You shift slightly, settling deeper into the blanket, feeling the warmth hold you, the softness supporting you completely. The lamp continues to glow, its light steady and warm, reflecting softly across the glass surfaces. Above you, the rain continues its endless motion, each drop part of a larger rhythm that never breaks. It feels like a lullaby now. Your breathing slows further, your body becomes still, your mind quiets. The glass house feels like a small world of its own, separate from everything beyond, yet connected through the soft, steady sound of rain. You are surrounded by it, held within it, and as the rain continues to fall across the glass roof, and the night stretches endlessly beyond the walls, and the warm light glows softly within the space, you remain there, wrapped in comfort, resting in stillness, listening to the endless rhythm of rain, safe inside the glass house, as the world outside moves gently through the night, and the quiet calm continues without end. The rain continues without pause, settling into an even deeper rhythm, as if the sky has fully committed to its quiet, endless motion. Each drop lands softly against the glass above you, blending into a smooth, continuous sound that feels steady and complete. Inside the glass house, the warmth remains unchanged, holding the space in a calm, gentle balance. The soft glow of the lamp reflects across the glass walls and ceiling, creating faint layers of light that move subtly as the rain shifts and flows above. You remain where you are, resting comfortably, your body fully relaxed, your breathing slow and natural. The blanket rests around you, its warmth steady, its softness constant, creating a quiet sense of comfort that does not fade. Above you, the rain traces new patterns across the glass roof, droplets gathering into small streams that move slowly, merging and separating, forming shapes that change without ever becoming chaotic. You watch for a moment, noticing the way the water flows, how it moves with a quiet purpose, never rushing, never stopping. Outside, the forest has grown darker, the shapes of trees now barely visible through the steady rain. Occasionally, a faint movement can be seen, a branch shifting gently under the weight of water, leaves trembling softly as the rain continues to fall. The world beyond feels distant now, softened, quiet. Inside, everything remains still. The air is calm, the light is warm. The space holds you gently, without change. The sound of the rain deepens slightly as more droplets gather across the roof, creating a fuller, more layered tone. It is not louder in a harsh way, but richer, more complete, as if every part of the sky is now part of the same steady rhythm. You close your eyes briefly, letting the sound surround you completely. The tapping, the sliding, the soft merging of droplets all blend together into one continuous flow that feels almost like a gentle current carrying your thoughts away. There is nothing to focus on, nothing to follow, only the sound. A soft shift of your body brings a small adjustment to the blanket, the fabric settling naturally around you, maintaining its warmth. The bed beneath you remains supportive, soft but steady, holding you in place without effort. The lamp continues to glow, unchanged, its light reflecting faintly on the glass ceiling above, blending with the movement of the rain. For a moment, it feels as if the light itself is moving, carried gently along with the droplets. Outside, the rain continues its endless fall, the forest remaining quiet and still beneath it. Inside, the calm deepens. Time begins to feel even more distant now, as if it no longer moves in steps, but in a slow, continuous flow. The rain does not change, the room does not change, and you remain in the same quiet state of rest. Your breathing becomes slower, softer, matching the rhythm above you. Each breath flows naturally into the next, without effort, without interruption. The sound of the rain becomes more than just sound. It becomes a presence, something that fills the entire space, connecting the inside and the outside in a gentle, seamless way. You open your eyes again, looking up through the glass ceiling. The night sky is hidden behind layers of rain and cloud, but there is a faint glow somewhere beyond, a soft light that filters through, just enough to give depth to the darkness. The droplets continue to move, forming new paths, new shapes, always changing, yet always the same. It is calming to watch, predictable in its unpredictability. The glass walls around you hold the quiet reflection of the room, faint outlines of the bed, the lamp, the soft shapes of your surroundings, mirrored gently in the surface. Beyond that reflection, the world remains blurred by rain, distant and untouched. You are inside. You are warm. You are safe. The rain continues. The night continues. The calm continues. You settle deeper into the stillness, your body fully at rest now, your thoughts fading further into the background. The sound above becomes softer in your awareness, not because it has lessened, but because you no longer need to notice it. It simply exists. And as the rain continues to fall across the glass roof, and the soft light glows gently within the house, and the forest remains quiet beyond the walls, you remain there, wrapped in warmth, surrounded by gentle sound, held in stillness, resting peacefully inside the glass house as the endless rhythm of rain carries the night forward in its calm, quiet way. The rhythm of the rain continues without interruption, settling into something even deeper, even more consistent, as if the entire sky has become a single steady flow. The droplets above no longer feel separate, but part of one continuous motion, spreading softly across the glass roof in endless patterns that shift and reform without ever stopping. Inside the glass house, the calm has grown stronger, more complete, filling every corner of the space. The warmth remains steady, held within the walls, untouched by the cool night outside. The soft glow of the lamp continues to reflect gently across the glass, creating a quiet interplay of light and shadow that feels slow and unchanging. You remain where you are, fully settled now, your body relaxed in a way that feels natural and effortless. The blanket rests lightly around you, its warmth constant, its softness unmoving. There is no need to adjust, no need to shift. Everything is already exactly as it should be. Above you, the rain forms longer streams now, droplets merging together into soft, winding paths that move slowly across the glass. You watch them for a moment, noticing how they gather, how they flow, how they disappear beyond your view, only to be replaced by new ones forming again. The motion is endless, quiet, calm. Outside, the darkness remains deep, the forest now almost completely hidden behind the steady curtain of rain. Only faint outlines remain, barely visible, softened into gentle shapes that blend into the night. The world beyond feels far away, distant, unimportant. The sound of the rain has become fuller, richer, more layered, yet still soft and soothing. It fills the space above you completely, surrounding the glass house in a continuous flow that feels almost protective. You close your eyes again, letting the sound settle deeper into your awareness. It is steady, predictable, endless. Your breathing follows naturally, slow and even, each breath aligning with the rhythm of the rain without effort. The calm deepens. The lamp beside you continues to glow with the same soft warmth, casting gentle reflections across the glass walls. These reflections shift slightly as the rain moves above, creating a subtle sense of motion, even within the stillness of the room. You notice how the light feels softer now, not because it has changed, but because your awareness has become quieter. Everything feels more distant, more gentle, more calm. The glass walls hold the quiet image of the room, while beyond them, the rain continues its steady fall, blurring the outside world into a soft, moving background. You shift ever so slightly, a small movement that allows your body to settle even deeper into comfort. The blanket adjusts naturally, maintaining its warmth, its gentle hold. The bed beneath you remains steady, soft yet supportive, allowing your body to rest completely without effort. Nothing disturbs the stillness. Nothing breaks the calm. The night continues to stretch on unmeasured and unchanging. The rain does not slow, and it does not intensify. It simply remains, steady and constant, moving across the glass in its quiet, endless rhythm. The forest outside remains hidden, softened by the rain, its presence felt but not seen. Inside, the space feels even more enclosed now, not in a limiting way, but in a comforting one, a small world of warmth and light surrounded by the vast, quiet night. Your thoughts drift more slowly now, appearing less often, fading more quickly. There is no need to follow them, no need to hold on to anything. Only the present moment remains, only the sound of rain, only the quiet warmth around you. The glass ceiling above you continues to hold the endless movement of water, droplets forming, merging, sliding, disappearing, only to begin again. It is a cycle that never stops, yet never feels repetitive. It feels natural, balanced, complete. Your breathing slows even further, becoming softer, deeper, more effortless. Your body feels heavier now, fully relaxed, fully supported, completely at ease. The warmth of the blanket surrounds you. The light of the lamp remains steady. The sound of the rain continues without end. And as the night carries on, and the rain flows endlessly across the glass roof, and the world outside remains distant and quiet, you remain there, resting gently, wrapped in warmth, surrounded by soft, steady sound. Safe inside the glass house, as the calm continues to deepen, and the rhythm of the rain carries everything forward in a peaceful, unbroken flow. The rhythm of the rain continues without interruption, stretching itself across the night in a way that feels almost infinite, as if time itself has softened and dissolved into the steady movement of water above you. And while the droplets continue to merge and separate across the glass roof in slow wandering streams, your awareness begins to follow that same gentle motion, drifting without direction, without urgency, carried only by the quiet consistency of the sound that surrounds you, filling the space not as noise but as something deeper, something constant and grounding, something that replaces the need for thought altogether. While inside the glass house, the warmth remains perfectly balanced, neither too strong nor too faint, held delicately within the transparent walls that separate you from the cool, distant night. And the soft glow of the lamp continues to cast its gentle reflections, not demanding attention, but simply existing as part of the stillness, blending with the shifting patterns of rain above, creating a quiet harmony between light and motion that never disrupts the calm, but instead deepens it, allowing you to settle even further into the bed beneath you, where the softness supports you completely, where the blanket rests around you like a quiet presence rather than an object, its warmth steady and unchanging, requiring nothing from you, asking for nothing, while your body, already relaxed, begins to feel even heavier, not in a way that restricts you, but in a way that anchors you gently into this moment, as if every part of you is being held exactly where it belongs. And as your breathing continues to slow, soft, and effortless, you begin to notice how even the smallest awareness of movement fades into stillness, how even the idea of doing something disappears completely, leaving only this quiet, uninterrupted presence that, and as the rain continues its endless journey across the glass above, forming longer and more fluid streams that weave together and drift apart in a pattern that never repeats yet, never feels unfamiliar, your mind begins to loosen its hold on structure and sequence, allowing thoughts to stretch out and dissolve before they can fully form, as if they too are being carried away by the same gentle motion that guides the water across the surface. And in this slow unraveling of thought, you begin to feel a deeper sense of stillness emerging, not something that arrives suddenly, but something that reveals itself gradually, layer by layer, as every small tension fades into the warmth that surrounds you, while the soft light of the lamp becomes less defined, its glow diffusing gently across the glass walls and blending with the reflections of the rain, creating a quiet, shifting atmosphere that feels both distant and close at the same time, as though the space around you is expanding while you remain completely still within it, held in place not by force, but by comfort, by ease, by the absence of anything that might pull you away from this moment and outside, beyond the softened barrier of rain and darkness. The forest becomes less a place and more a presence, something that exists without needing to be seen, something that rests in the background of your awareness without ever asking to be noticed, while inside everything remains contained, calm, and gently enclosed, forming a small world that feels complete in itself, untouched by anything beyond it, as your body continues to sink deeper into the bed, your breathing becoming so slow and steady that it almost blends into the rhythm of the rain, until it becomes difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins, as if you are no longer simply listening to the rain, but moving with it, existing within the same quiet, endless flow. And in this space where everything has softened, where time no longer moves in clear steps, but instead stretches into a continuous, unbroken moment, you find that even awareness itself begins to fade into something gentler, something quieter, as if the need to observe, to notice, to understand has slowly drifted away, leaving behind only a calm, steady presence that does not change, does not demand, does not move, while the rain above continues its endless motion, droplets forming, merging, sliding across the glass and disappearing beyond your view, only to begin again in a cycle that feels both infinite and complete. And the warmth around you remains constant, the blanket still resting lightly yet securely, the bed still supporting you without effort, the lamp still glowing softly, somewhere in the background of your fading awareness. Its light now more a feeling than something you see, as everything becomes less defined, less separate, less distinct, blending together into a single, quiet experience that holds you gently in place. And as your breathing slows even further, becoming softer, deeper, more distant, you begin to feel as though you are no longer resting within the space, but becoming part of it, as though the boundary between yourself and the glass house between yourself and the sound of rain, between yourself and the stillness of the night, has quietly dissolved, leaving nothing but this calm, continuous presence that stretches on without end. And in that presence, without effort, without thought, without even the awareness of letting go, you drift further and further into stillness, carried gently by the endless rhythm of the rain, until everything fades into quiet, into softness, into rest. And as the stillness continues to expand in a way that no longer feels like something growing, but rather something that has always been there, quietly waiting beneath every thought and every sensation, you begin to notice how even the idea of noticing slowly loses its meaning, as if awareness itself is softening at the edges, dissolving into the same gentle rhythm that carries the rain across the glass above you, where each droplet forms without effort, moves without intention, and disappears without resistance, leaving behind no trace except the quiet continuation of motion, while your body remains completely at rest, so deeply settled now that it feels as though it is no longer something separate from the bed beneath you, but rather an extension of it, supported in every place without needing adjustment, without needing attention, as the blanket continues to hold a steady warmth around you, unchanged and constant, like a quiet presence that asks nothing and gives everything. And somewhere in the background, the soft glow of the lamp continues to exist, though it no longer feels like a source of light you observe, but more like a distant warmth that blends into the atmosphere of the space, becoming part of the same calm that fills the glass house, where nothing shifts in a way that disturbs the stillness, and nothing remains static in a way that feels unnatural, as everything simply exists in a perfect balance between motion and rest. And in that balance, your breathing continues slow and even, so subtle now that it feels less like something you are doing and more like something that is happening on its own, rising and falling in quiet harmony with the rain, until even that gentle rhythm begins to fade into the background, becoming just another part of the endless, unbroken calm that surrounds you. And as the night stretches further into itself, without beginning and without end, you find that the sense of distance has quietly disappeared, as though the world beyond the glass house no longer exists in any meaningful way, not because it has vanished, but because your connection to it has softened so completely that it no longer reaches you, leaving only this enclosed space of warmth and quiet, where the rain continues its endless path above, forming patterns that never repeat, yet never feel unfamiliar, and the glass walls, once a clear boundary between inside and outside, now feel almost invisible, as though they are no longer something that separates, but something that gently holds the calm in place, allowing it to deepen without interruption, while the faint outlines of the forest beyond have dissolved entirely into darkness, becoming nothing more than a distant presence that no longer calls for attention. And within this quiet enclosure, your thoughts have slowed to the point where they no longer form in full, appearing only as faint impressions that drift by without shape, without weight, without meaning, dissolving before they can become anything you might follow, until eventually even those faint impressions disappear, leaving only a smooth, uninterrupted stillness that feels complete in every way. And in that stillness, there is no sense of waiting, No sense of passing time, no sense of anything needing to happen next, because everything is already exactly as it should be, exactly where it should be, held gently within the endless rhythm of the rain and the quiet warmth that surrounds you. And as this calm settles into its deepest form, you begin to feel as though you are no longer resting within the moment, but existing as part of it, as though the distinction between yourself and the space around you has softened beyond recognition, blending together into a single continuous experience that does not change and does not need to change, while the rain above continues its steady motion, no longer something separate that you listen to, but something that moves through the entire space, through the glass, through the air, through the quiet stillness that holds everything together, becoming a rhythm that exists everywhere at once, unbroken and endless. And the warmth that surrounds you feels less like something external and more like something that comes from within the space itself, as though the glass house, the bed, the blanket, and the soft light have all become part of the same gentle presence that holds you in place, not as an object within it, but as something that belongs to it completely. And in this state, even the idea of drifting begins to fade, because there is nowhere to drift to, nowhere to move, nowhere to go. Only this continuous, unchanging calm that exists fully in every moment, filling every part of your awareness until there is nothing left outside of it. And as everything continues in this quiet, unbroken flow, you begin to sense that even the concept of beginning or ending has dissolved entirely, as though this moment has always existed and will continue to exist without interruption, without variation, without any need for change, while the rain continues above, forming its endless patterns across the glass, each movement flowing seamlessly into the next, never stopping, never hesitating, as though time itself has become fluid, stretching and bending into a single continuous presence that holds everything within it. And the light of the lamp, now barely noticeable, has become just another layer of warmth within the space, no longer something that defines the room, but something that blends into the calm, adding to the quiet sense of comfort that surrounds you. And your body, fully relaxed and completely still, feels as though it has settled into a perfect balance, where no movement is needed and no adjustment is possible, because everything is already aligned in a way that requires nothing more, nothing less. And in that perfect stillness, your awareness becomes softer still, fading gently into the background until even the sense of being aware begins to dissolve, leaving only the quiet presence of the moment itself. And in the deepest part of this stillness, where even the faintest traces of thought and awareness have faded into something soft and distant, you find that there is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to release, nothing left to become, as everything has settled into a state of complete and effortless rest, while the rain continues its endless journey above, no longer something that marks time or movement, but something that simply exists, constant and unchanging in its gentle flow, like a quiet thread that runs through the entire night without ever breaking. And the warmth that surrounds you remains steady, holding you in place without effort, without intention, as though it has always been there and always will be, forming a quiet foundation beneath the stillness that now fills everything. And as the night continues unmeasured and undefined, you remain within this calm, not as someone's experiencing it, but as part of it, completely and effortlessly, until even that distinction fades, and there is nothing left but the quiet, endless presence of rest, stretching softly into silence, into stillness, into a peaceful, unbroken calm that simply continues without end. And as the quiet continues to stretch endlessly in all directions, you begin to sense that even the idea of depth has changed, as though the calm is no longer something you sink into, but something that exists fully all around you, without layers, without distance, without any sense of moving deeper or further, because everything has already reached its natural still point, while the rain above continues its soft, uninterrupted motion, no longer forming distinct paths you can follow, but blending into a single continuous flow that feels almost like a presence rather than a sound, something that surrounds and fills the space without ever pressing against it, without ever demanding attention. And within this quiet, your breathing has become so gentle, so minimal, that it feels almost as though it has merged completely with the stillness, each inhale and exhale, dissolving before it can even be noticed, leaving behind only a faint rhythm that mirrors the endless movement above, and your body fully at rest. No longer sends any signals that call for awareness, no tension, no movement, no sensation that needs to be acknowledged, as everything has settled into a perfect equilibrium, where nothing stands out and nothing needs to change. And in that equilibrium, your awareness continues to soften, becoming less defined, less centered, less present as something separate, until it begins to feel as though it is simply part of the space itself, spread gently across the quiet, unmoving calm that fills everything. And as this state continues without interruption, you begin to feel that even the sense of continuing has lost its meaning, because there is no longer any contrast between one moment and the next, no shift that marks time passing, no variation that creates a sense of movement, as everything remains perfectly consistent, perfectly still within its gentle motion, while the rain maintains its endless rhythm above, neither louder nor softer, neither faster nor slower, existing in a perfect balance that does not change, that does not need to change, as though it has always been this way and always will be. And the glass house, once a space you occupied, now feels like something you are part of completely, as though the boundaries that once defined it have dissolved into the same calm that fills everything, leaving no separation between inside and outside, between you and the quiet world that surrounds you, and the warmth that holds you remains constant, no longer something you feel directly, but something that exists as a quiet certainty, a steady presence that does not shift or fade. And in this unchanging stillness, even the faintest sense of identity begins to soften, not disappearing suddenly, but gently dissolving into the calm, until there is nothing left to define, nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to distinguish one moment from another. Only this continuous, endless quiet that stretches on without interruption. And in this final, quiet state, where everything has softened beyond distinction, and every boundary has gently dissolved into the same calm presence, you find that there is no longer any sense of reaching or arriving, because there is nowhere left to go and nothing left to become, as the stillness has already unfolded completely, filling every part of the space, every part of your awareness, every part of what once felt separate, while the rain continues above in its endless, unbroken flow, no longer something that exists outside of you, but something that feels woven into the same quiet fabric of this moment. Its rhythm no longer heard, but simply known, as though it exists everywhere at once, without beginning and without end. And the warmth that surrounds you remains perfectly steady, not as a sensation that comes and goes, but as a constant presence that holds everything gently in place, without effort, without intention, without change. And the glass house itself, once a space defined by walls and structure, now feels like an extension of the calm, something that exists not as a boundary, but as part of the same continuous stillness, where nothing is separate and nothing stands apart. And in this complete and effortless rest, even the quiet awareness that has remained begins to fade into something softer, something more distant, until it is no longer something you experience, but something that simply is, without form, without focus, without definition, as if the entire moment has become a single, endless breath that neither begins nor ends, expanding gently into itself without ever needing to change. And within that breath, within that stillness, within that endless, quiet presence, everything remains exactly as it is, perfectly balanced, perfectly calm, perfectly complete, until even the idea of everything dissolves, leaving nothing but a soft, unbroken silence that stretches on without limit, without movement, without thought. And in that silence, there is no longer any distinction between rest and stillness, between presence and absence, between you and the quiet world that once surrounded you, because all of it has become one continuous, gentle calm, endless, effortless, and completely, quietly at peace.